Hello 8th graders, your new video is going to be on section 7.5 from the book, and that covers on how we're going to prove that triangles are similar. So if you can remember from earlier in this chapter, we did proving that triangles are congruent using the the ASA, SAS, and the SSS rules. This one is a little different because these ones are not congruent, but they are similar. Okay, similar means same shape, different size. So the angle similarity rule that we're going to use is if two angles of one triangle are congruent to the corresponding angles of another triangle, then the triangles are similar. So really what they're saying is all three angles are going to be the same, right? Because if two angles are the same, the third one also has to be the same, right? Because we know this. The sum, whoa, what's going on? The sum of all angles in every triangle, it doesn't matter what kind of triangle it is, the sum of all three angles have to add up to 180 degrees. So therefore, if two of them are the same as two on the other figure, the third one has to also be similar. It wouldn't make sense if it wasn't. Okay, so if I have a triangle here, let's just pretend that it looks the way it should. So 74 degrees, 68 degrees, and then we'll just call this one A. So we don't know that one, okay? So it says find, if we want to just find this missing angle, it's really easy because they have to add up to 180, right? So take the two that you know, so it'd be 142, and then just subtract it from 180. So 38 degrees equals A. That one right there, 38 degrees. That part of this assignment should not be too hard. We did some of that last year as well. Just remember that all three angles here have to add up to 180. So add up the two you have, subtract it from 180, and you've got it. Okay, then the second part of what we're going to be doing, we need to show that each pair of triangles is similar. So in other words, we're going to prove it. Basically, we're going to write a proof. We've written a couple of proofs before on some of the labs that we've done. Again, ignore my horrible artwork. Just pretend these look similar. So we're going to do a 30 and a 50. And over here, we're going to do a 30 and a hundo. Okay, so we'll say we better give these names so that we can compare them correctly. So D, E, F. So how are we going to prove that these two things are similar? First of all, we can figure out what we don't know, right, by using what we do know. So what is this angle right here? Well, if I compare it to this other one, D and A match up, right? B and E match up. So angle E is 100 degrees. Why is it? Because of the angle sum theory. That's what that's called when you say that they add up to 180 degrees. It's called the angle sum theory. So that's one thing that we can prove, right? That this has to be 100. Plus the fact that 30 plus 50 is 80, and all three of these have to add up to 180. So there you go. So then angle C over here, angle C is 50, and how do we know it? Again, because the angle sum theory proves it, right? All three of these have to add up to 180, so you have 100 plus 30 is 130, so to get to 180, this has to be 50, plus if these two triangles are similar, this one has to equal this one. Okay, so that's two ways that we're proving it. And then we could say, well, okay, so we figured out C and E, right? So we could also say that angle A is congruent to angle D, right? And angle B is congruent to angle E, which we just proved, right? Also angle, well, I guess you only need two of them, right, to be able to prove it. So we'll just stop there. We could write the third one, but we only need to prove it with two. Then, because of all that, and especially because of this right here, when you find two angles that are congruent, the corresponding angles are congruent, right? A is to D and B is to E. They're equal. you can say, so triangle ABC similar to triangle DEF. How are you proving that? By the double A similarity rule. The angle similarity rule. That's how you're proving it. So this stuff right here that we just wrote, that would be called the proof for those two triangles. This right here is how you prove that these two triangles are similar. Okay, so we just basically wrote a proof. A shortened version of one, but so we can use that information to find how our triangles are similar. So bring that knowledge with you tomorrow and we'll talk more about it. Have a good night.